SM64's unopenable door has finally been opened. Oh, very good. Very juicy. Alright, I'm guessing most of you guys have watched this video already. 6 hours ago, already 150,000.
In Super Mario 64, there's a star in Cool Mountain that goes as follows. You enter the cabin at the top of the mountain, go all the way down the slide, and then exit from the cabin at the bottom of the mountain. And that spawns the star for you to collect. But something everyone always tries is going back into the door. Though as you find out, that doesn't work. And let me tell you, as a kid, I really wanted to get back in there. I mean, we were just in there, but the idea of a door that you can't open from this side just made me want to open it that much more. And let me clarify something. For most doors in the game, opening them just takes you from one side of the door to the other. And so if you clip through the door, like by getting pushed by an object, then you can bypass the door. But some doors are special, because opening them unloads the current area and warps you to a new area.
True.
If you
That's why we can't LBLJ. I think he's about to explain it, but if the upstairs door didn't do that, we could literally just LBLJ to upstairs, and the run, like 0 star would be the easiest category ever, and it would be done in like 3 minutes.
Flip through this kind of door, you don't actually go to the new area. Instead, you just end up in a sort of fake area behind the door. In other words, the only way to load the new area is to literally open the door, because that triggers the transition between areas. Now the door in Cool Mountain is the kind that loads a new area. See, opening it unloads the slide area and loads the outside area. Now, since there are 2 different areas involved, there are 2 different door objects involved. There's one door in the slide area that warps you outside. Everyone's opened that door before. And there's one door that's outside that warps you back into the slide. But no one's ever opened that door before. So to emphasize, this is actually a fully functional door, despite that it was given a special model that doesn't have a doorknob on the outside. So the reason you can't open the door from the outside is not because the door doesn't work, but simply because the cabin wall blocks you from getting close enough to the door to open it. As you can see on the right, the wall triangles cover the whole side of the cabin without
It's literally just a wall. It's just a wall with just some graphic.
any opening for the door. But if the walls were gone, as I've done here with hacks, then we could get close enough to the door to open it and re-enter the cabin. That raises the question, can we open the door without any hacks? Well, going back to the door, let's look at it from above. Here are the floor triangles around the cabin. Note that there are no floor triangles inside the cabin. Here's the door's hitbox, so if Mario walks into that hitbox, he opens the door. And to emphasize, he must be walking to open the door, no other action works. And then here's the cabin wall and its hitbox. If Mario enters that hitbox, he gets pushed south. So the door's hitbox basically has 2 parts to it. The south part that's inside the wall hitbox, and the north part that's not inside the wall hitbox, but it's in the air. Remember, for Mario to open the door, he has to walk into the door hitbox, but that's seemingly impossible for both parts of the hitbox for different reasons. For the south part of the hitbox, if Mario tries to walk into it, the wall pushes him away to the south. This wall push happens every time he moves forwards, and so he's not able to be inside the door's hitbox when the game checks if he's touching it. And for the north part of the hitbox, it is possible to get there. See, we can deliver the baby penguin to the mother penguin, and then re-grab the baby penguin to make the mother penguin get mad at us and follow us around. And the mother penguin has a hitbox that pushes Mario outwards.
She's so mad.
So we can use the mother penguin's hitbox to push Mario through the cabin wall and into the door hitbox. But even though he touches the north part of the hitbox, he still doesn't open the door because he's in freefall, not in the walking action. So the door seems impossible to open, and that's what everyone believed for 28 years. Until April 22nd, 2024, when Alex Palix posted this video on Discord. He had found a way to do it, but how does it work? Well, we already knew you could use the mother penguin to clip behind the wall. But of course, since there's no floor there, that puts Mario into freefall, and you can't open doors in freefall, only when walking.
That's
so
crazy.
To solve this,
What's
Alex
up, Leonard?
Palix did a turnaround. See, there's an interesting thing about the turning around action, which I've explained in a previous video, and that's what actually gave Alex the idea to use it to open the cabin door. But I'll explain it again now. So when Mario turns around, he goes into the turning around action. And then a bit later, he transitions into the walking action because he finished turning around. Here's the code for the turning around action, and here's the relevant logic. So when Mario finishes turning around, he goes into the walking action.
Programming class, boys. Here's the code. Holy shit. At finish turning around. All right, programmers, which is probably like 80% of everybody in chat. What does this mean?
But a bit earlier,
What language is that? C++?
we have the code that handles his movement.
I wouldn't know.
This one says if Mario leaves the ground, put him into the free fall action. So the issue is that the programmers never expected these two conditions to happen on the same frame. If they do, then the logic goes like this. First, Mario left the ground, so he goes into the free fall action. And then second, Mario finished turning around, and so he goes into the walking action. So that first action change gets overwritten by the second action change. And so even though Mario left the ground, he still ends up in the walking action, free fall on the next frame. But that one frame of walking in the air is all we needed, and that was enough to open the door. Let's play it again. On this frame, the Mother Penguin's hitbox pushes Mario through the wall and into the air. And also on that frame, Mario finished turning around. So first his action got set to free fall, and then his action got set to walking. And since he's now walking inside the door's hitbox, he opens the door. And you'll notice that Mario downwarps to the death barrier when he opens the door.
I actually think I understood
Mario's
that one.
programmed to snap down to the floor every frame when he's in the door opening action. But fortunately, the death barrier doesn't kill him because it has no effect when Mario's in a cutscene action like opening a door. Now, one question that this brings up is, does this technique save time in a run? After all, if we can enter the cabin at the bottom, then we can just exit from there and get the star, skipping the whole slide. So let's do a side-by-side comparison. On the left, I'm showing the current strat for the star, which involves entering the cabin at the top of the level, going all the way down, and then exiting from the cabin at the bottom of the level to get the star. And on the right, I'm showing the potential new strat for the star, which involves going into the cabin at the bottom of the level and then immediately exiting to get the star. But even in this new strat, we still have to spend time going to the bottom of the course. And then there's the whole process of interacting with the Mother Penguin and luring her into place. And interestingly, triggering the star this way actually messes up the camera during the star's cutscene, though that doesn't cause any trouble. And so in conclusion, even though we can use this technique to skip the whole slide, it doesn't actually save any time. But regardless, it is pretty cool that Super Mario 64's unopenable door has now finally been opened. And now for this video's member event. In case you missed it from my last video, all my regular videos from now on are going to have a member event at the end, where all the member names participate in the event. Now last time there were only 13 members, but this time let's just say we have quite a few more, over 200. So thanks everyone, it really does mean a lot to me that you guys are so willing to support me. And if all goes well, in the description. It's sort of like subscribing to someone on Twitch, where you pay them a little money each month. Seen you in a while. Hey, nice to meet you. Finish line win.
Dude, Pannenkoek2012's editing abilities are... I've never seen it before in my life. Like, how does this man... Did he go to fucking editing school? Like, oh my god.
So, still thinking about the door. It was pretty cool. Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. But let's try our best in the race, okay? And so without any further ado, let's begin. Okay, off to a good start. In the back, there's a mad dash to get out of the cabin and squeeze through that tiny opening. But it looks like everybody made it onto the slide. Oof, we already lost our first person, Owlbag. And there goes another one. Man, you guys are ruthless. Is winning really worth pushing your fellow competitors off the edge? Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And now for the first
turn. Of course it is. Are you kidding me?
Of the slide. You guys are doing pretty good so far, no casualties. Oh, there they go. We lost Shauna, Eric Vilas, Mangomins. It's just pure mayhem on this turn. We also lost Crixium 1998 and Hollow 220. And remember, that was just the first turn. There's way more turns to come on the slide. Now we've lost Kyle Fluharty,
this is random, right? Like nobody's
Cubic,
actually like
Hannah,
there's no controlling going on here. It's like marbles.
Rageman, some kind of taco, and Fat Goomba. Man, there is some aggression going on at the back of the group. Goomba. I mean, I know you guys want to win, but can't you have a little more decorum like the front of the group? It's like ripples of collision propagating backwards. Now we've lost the bros. I guess you guys weren't his bro. And there goes Chase T. Now a couple more turns coming up. Can you guys handle it? Let's see.
Do I recognize
each other
anyone?
off on the far side of the slide. And now we've lost Valton Zenola. Gone, but not forgotten. But forget about them. We're on the final stretch of the slide.
Gone but not forgotten, but forget about him.
Down to the elite view, and now the even eliter view. Now this part of the slide is pretty straight, so it seems like you guys are maintaining an uneasy truce to not push each other off, despite ramming into each other at every opportunity. We're losing some people at this little turn, and we're even losing some people on the straight part. Come on guys, just last a little bit longer and you'll make it into the tunnel. Just a few more turns. And now we've lost Hot Joe. Not Hot Joe, he was so hot he melted the ice and slipped off. A few more casualties on that last turn, but we're finally in the tunnel. So congrats to our 6 finalists.
Oh my god.
Cameron Cookle, Humanity, Midnight Posting, Muzig5, Protectator, and Scaristo. And lastly, the Ice Bridge. Can they all make it across? Oh, we lost Humanity. And for the other 5, they all made it. But who got first? Well, if we check the instant replay, we can see that Midnight Posting was the first to cross the finish line. So, congrats to our first place finisher, Midnight Posting. And good job to the other people who also made it to the end. And everyone else will be ranked by how long they lasted in the race before dying. So yeah, that's what a member event is like. So if you want to get in on the next one, consider becoming a member of my channel. Like, I know other YouTubers will take sponsorships and talk about how a company's product revolutionized their life or something like that. And I'm not hating on them, but that just doesn't feel...
Holy shit, that was insane. I want to hear that again.
Is like. So if you want to get in on the next one, consider becoming a member of my channel. Like, I know other YouTubers will take sponsorships and talk about how a company's product revolutionized their life or something like that. And I'm not hating on them, but that just doesn't feel like me. Like,
okay, I'm not hating on them guys, but like that is so funny. Very good job, Pannen.
I don't use many products, and of the ones I do use, I'm not like super passionate about them. So I really don't want to have to pretend to like some product to get you to buy it just so I can make money. Plus, what if I did back a company and then it turned out they were doing some shady business practices or something? I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to stake my reputation on something that I have no control over. And so that—
I love how he's laying out like everything he's saying right now is shit that you're like told you're not supposed to say. Especially from sponsors. That is so funny. He's low-key saying things that that no one would ever say on a YouTube video. That's crazy that he's even saying that.
Factor me, change my life. Factor me, change my life. Factor me, change my life. Factor me, change my life.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's why I like these member events. It's like the perfect alternative that feels right for me. You guys get to pay to be in the video and participate in the event, and I get to express my creativity by putting you guys into interesting scenarios in the game. So yeah, that's why I'm glad I came up with this idea of member events. But let me know what you think in the comments. And one more thing, Mr. Lunar Complex, I've been thinking about what you said, and you did try your best in the race, so I have an idea that I think you'll adore. Yo, I'm the doorknob on the door.
That was great. Bro, he just went crazy on the whole sponsor thing. That is very funny.